Line judge, Michael Tunney. And linesman, Jordan Grady. Field judge, Evan Thompson. Side judge, Brandon Mallard. Ladies and gentlemen, and especially students, the SAD Club would like to remind you to stay safe while celebrating homecoming. Don't use any substances to drive. Stick with a group of friends. Be cautious. Social distance. Thank you.
Lights are on. Welcome to WPIAL Football 2020 here on the Sports Network and the Penn Hills Indians Football Network. Tonight, it's a big battle for the playoffs in the Northeast Conference between the Indians of Penn Hills and the Foxes of Fox Chapel, as I said, in a pivotal WPIAL 5A Northeast Conference showdown. Tonight's game is brought to you by Mr. Water Heater, Premier Medical, You Pull and Pay, Penn Hills Shop and Save, Seton Hill University, Excella Health, United States Air Force Reserve, California University of Pennsylvania, Crees Transportation, the official bus company of the Penn Hills Indians, Carlow University, Comfort Keepers, and by Trib Total Media. This broadcast is copyright of the Penn Hills Football Network. Any broadcast, rebroadcast, or use of this broadcast without the express written consent of the Penn Hills Football Network is strictly prohibited. Along with my broadcast partner, RJ Licey, I'm Bill Navari. RJ, Who would have thought coming into this season that tonight's matchup would be huge when it comes to playoff implications?
Honestly, not me. I would have thought, personally, last week would have been the major week going into the season, and that has kept Penn Hills' playoff hopes. It's actually solidified them more than it kept them alive. And now tonight you're looking at potentially sole possession of second place in the Northeast Conference between Fox Chapel and Penn Hills. Both teams coming in with the same record of 2-3 overall, 2-1 in conference play. The other team with that same exact record is North Hills. They're playing the Big Green Machine in Pine Richland tonight. So that one, barring an upset, the winner of this will have sole possession of second place and have the potential tiebreaker going into next week. Fox Chapel has to face North Hills next week. That could be for a wild card for the final spot to get in to the WPIL Class 5A playoffs. But, tonight it's going to be an interesting matchup. Last week we saw Penn Hills lose senior running back Dante Pollard due to an injury, and he will not be with the team the rest of the season, unfortunately. And the same thing was happened for Fox Chapel. They lost their senior quarterback Justin Rice, who was really starting to figure things out going into this year and as the year has progressed. And now they turn to junior Colin Dietz, who made his first career start last week. He had a decent game passing wise in completion percentage. He was 11 for 36, but he also had 267 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 1 interception. For your first career varsity start, that's pretty impressive for the junior Colin Dietz. And tonight, Penn Hills is going to have to look to Derek Topak and Jawan Brown and a mix of Amir Key in there as well in the backfield behind Julian Duggar, along with these wideouts for Penn Hills.
Now, you knew coming into the season the Penn Hills Indians were going to be competitive.
Yes.
What did Tom Loughran do up there in Fox Chapel to get these Foxes to where they are now? Penn Hills and Fox Chapel share a river between them.
Yes.
So it's not like it's in the water.
Correct.
Because it's the same water on both sides. But, a lot of credit to Tommy Loughran and his coaching staff for what they've done to put the Foxes, with just 2 games left in the season, in a position to make the WPIAL playoffs.
Well, it's that experienced coaching. He has won a lot of places he has been through the WPIAL. So that experience, when you have that mentality as a coach, it really, your players can feed off that. They sense that. They can sense a coach. All right, this coach is experienced. He's been there. He's done that. They feed off it. They learn from it. And they're proving it this year. They are a very senior and junior heavy team, whether you're looking from offensive line to your star players, your playmakers, your quarterbacks, your wide receivers and such. So he got them believing. He's got them performing at a high level. And, coming into tonight, the past 2 conference matchups between these 2 teams, Penn Hills has won. But coming in tonight, the Foxes are believing. They're on a little stretch here. 2 straight consecutive wins over Shaler and Kiski. Yes, the 2 bottom teams, but wins are wins. Confidence is confidence, and when you get that ball rolling, it can take you a long way.
Foxes will be taking on North Hills next week. It'll be a home game for the Foxes, and Penn Hills will be at Shaler. So you would think that with Shaler winless so far, that odds are that Penn Hills would knock off the Titans next week. So this would be a huge game. Not like Fox Chapel could drop this and hope for a loss to Penn Hills next week. Fox Chapel needs to come out and try to knock off the Big Red Machine, if you will.
Fox Chapel did win the coin toss and deferred, and Penn Hills will receive the opening kick.
Kickoff goes out of bounds.
Yeah, on the kickoff was Michael Tarasi, the senior.
Kick goes out of bounds. Penn Hills to begin their drive at the 35-yard line.
It'll be great starting field position for the Indians at the 35-yard line.
We were both sitting here the entire time, weren't we? My roster's
Your
gone.
roster's disappeared. They're just out of the blue. Well,
that's okay. It's all good.
I don't have the one I gave to Fox Chapel Stats, so.
Sorry, I found another one. We're good. Low snap. Duggar looking down the field, has a man behind the defense, and that's going to go in the first play of the game for a Penn Hills touchdown. Just like that, DeAndre Mitchell hauls in a 65-yarder. And Penn Hills strikes very quickly.
Strikes. I don't even know if Fox Chapel knows what hit him off that first play. That was dropped back. Julian Duggar was looking the right side the entire time. And we've talked DeAndre Mitchell. In the past couple weeks, he's really stepped up his game and getting a lot more plays. First place called to the man in 18, and he goes the distance, 65 yards. 10 seconds just off the clock. You want to talk about a playmaking ability right there.
Silverman's kick up and good. 11:50 to go, first quarter. Penn Hills 7.
Zero.
It's Penn Hills 7, Fox Chapel 0.
Ladies and gentlemen, and especially students, the Santa Club would like to remind you to stay safe while celebrating homecoming. Don't use any substances and drive. Stick with a group of friends.
As we mentioned, Fox Chapel is going to have to watch that deep ball threat from Duggar. And on the first play of the game, boom. The Indians go for it just like that. A little surprised by that play call?
A little bit, but I mean, maybe that's what Coach LaDon was looking for. We've seen it. They've run the ball consistently all year. Come out throwing the first time, catch them off guard, and by gosh, they did that. They caught him off guard, and Mitchell had 3 steps on his defender, and Duggar just dropped a dime right in there into the breadbasket.
Kickoff short, taken at the 22-yard line. That was Chris Rogalski. And Fox Chapel pretty much start almost where Penn Hills did. Penn Hills start at 35. Fox Chapel will start at 33. Alex Bell came down and make a nice tackle for Penn Hills.
Yep, and now we'll see the junior quarterback Colin Dietz. How will the Foxes respond after a big opening play for the Penn Hills Indians?
Never fun when the first time your offense takes the field, you're already trailing. Dietz from the shotgun as Zidane Thomas behind him. The high snap over his head. It's on the field, and it looks like the Indians will have it inside the 15. Not an auspicious start for the Foxes. Keith Pellman recovers it for Penn Hills.
I think we're getting
a penalty flag at the 13.
I think you're getting a celebration penalty against Penn Hills.
I mean, we're just 20 seconds into this one here, and now Penn Hills with an opportunity to go up 2 scores.
Yep, and that was, that snap. It was a little high for Dietz, but it looked like it almost did go through his hands, and it looks like it was a delay game penalty with the spike ball.
So the Indians will start at the Fox Chapel 18-yard line. Now, my philosophy always is when you're presented with this opportunity, first play, I'm going to go for it on the first play guy.
You did it already once, so why not do it again?
Duggar bring Mitchell's in motion. Indians keep it on the ground. All right, so run off the left side by Amir Key down to about the 12 for a pickup of about 6. And the Indians go a little conservative here.
Well, you got to keep the game going. You got to keep the run game in there and keep the passing game up. Go back. You hit your big play. Now maybe go back to your little MO, what you traditionally have done all year.
Key behind Duggar in the eye. Twins each way for the Indians. Duggar, option right, Key. Cuts it back inside. The Foxes do a nice job of covering that one.
Key on the carry.
And it'll be dropped back to the 15-yard line for a loss of about 3.
Third down.
That kind of developed a little slowly there.
Yeah, a little bit, and Fox Chapel brought the pressure off the edge and got upfield in a hurry and forced what probably would have been an earlier pitch than Duggar would have liked, and nice job by the Foxes to corral Key.
Duggar on third down, looks right towards the end zone, has a man. Noel Roach was in his hands and was unable to hold on to it. He had him there, very untypical of Roach not being able to hold on to the ball, but the coverage was tight on him.
Yeah, nice job by Christian Gaston, the sophomore cornerback there on Noel Roach. And Roach had it in his hands, and it looked like Gaston actually was the one who knocked it out of his hands.
Indians are going to try for a Silverman field goal of 32 yards. Kick is up, definitely long enough, and it goes through.
Field goal by Silverman is good. Scores now Penn Hills 10. Fox Chapel 0. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for attending tonight's homecoming. Remember to check the row you're sitting in and make sure it has an S on either side of it. Maintain physical distancing from other families and keep your facial coverings on at all times. Thank you.
A minute 36 seconds into this one, Fox Chapel's down 10.
Big play, and then a mistake leads to 3 more points, and this is the part where don't really want to be.
So Silverman now to kick off for the second time. In a little over a minute. Another short kickoff taken at the 25-yard line. And again, it's Chris Rogowski who'll be pushed out of bounds, and then a late flag comes in. So the Foxes will get an extra 15 out of it on the late hit out of bounds.
Personal foul, Penn Hills.
All right, so answer this for me. How often on a play like that will one official see one throw a flag up, the other throws it up just to make it look?
That's what you said to him.
That-
So to me too.
Okay.
Don't mean shit. You're not supposed to do it.
So the Foxes will start at the 45-yard line. Colin Dietz holds on to the snap this time. Foxes try to go left side. The Penn Hills Indians are there. Zidane Thomas, the ball carrier for Fox Chapel.
Tackle on the play by number 51, Javon Lewis.
Try to bounce it off the left edge, and we've seen this run defense for Penn Hills really ramp it up in the past couple weeks, and right there to stuff them at the line of scrimmage. Maybe got, you could say, half a ball.
We'll call it second down and 10. Again, that's Thomas deep in the eye, behind Dietz. And it'll be Thomas again, and the Indians are right there. We'll stack him up, and he'll lose a yard.
Thomas on the carry. Tackle by Javon Lewis.
3rd and 11 for the Foxes. Clock rolling under 9 minutes to go here first quarter. Penn Hills up 10 already. Dietz will throw under pressure. Looks left side. And we'll throw this one too far. He was headed looking for Kylie Patterson. And the Foxes will bring on the punt team.
Well, great job by Penn Hills defense holding off on the run early and then able to stand tall.
I mean, how big is it for Penn Hills to have this early lead? Their defense playing so well, keeping teams off the scoreboard. Now they got a 10-point lead here early in the first.
Momentum's huge and carrying on from last week into this week. And
low snap. Foxes get the kick away. Roach lets this one hit. And the Foxes will down it at the 20-yard line. 8:39 to go first quarter. Penn Hills 10, Fox Chapel nothing. So with the roll, it was almost like he boomed it into the end zone.
yes. Yeah.
Well, I guess it get it to 20. Worst field position of the night for the Indians. Dogger fakes the key, rolls out this way, pass complete underneath. That was Derek Topek. Reception of about, we'll call it 8 yards. Topek roll becoming much larger with the loss of Dante Pollard last week.
An unfortunate injury, but, you know, every coach says next man up, and that's what Penn Hills is going to have to do these next coming weeks. Key stacked up in the backfield. It was maybe half a yard. And we'll call it 3rd down and 3 for the Indians. Yeah, Sampson Schulter, Maurice Sampson Schulter came up, made the tackle in the backfield. It was when we made initial contact, and then another defender came in.
We have people in the stands tonight.
Yes, parents in the stands.
Homecoming for Penn Hills. Duggar under pressure, and he'll be sacked back at the 20-yard line. Oh, and that has to lift the spirits of the Foxes to get Penn Hills to go 3 and out.
Let him swing back towards the Foxes. And we'll get the ball and probably start within Penn Hills territory, barring a big punt from Jonah Silverman.
End over end kick gets it to 45-yard line. We'll take a Penn Hills roll inside the 40. And we'll go dead at the 34.5-yard line. 6:37 to go first quarter. Fox Chapel trails Penn Hills by a score of 10-0 here on the Penn Hills Indians Football Network. Now, Fox Chapel's run 4 offensive plays, not including their punt. Maybe I'd like to try to at least get something moving here, get a first down. Dietz in the pocket, looks. Pitches it out, he's in the clutches of Pellman, but did a nice job, had the presence of mind to get it out to Thomas Zidane. Looked like it was going to be a sack. But the Foxes pick up a yard.
Yeah, that's great job by Zidane Thomas to stay and watch. You know, he saw his quarterback under pressure, and then as he was almost brought down. He ran towards him to give him an opening to pitch it out and keep the play alive instead of taking a sack for 5 yards.
The wildcat for the Foxes, pass complete to the near side. Out to the 40-yard line is Lorenzo Jenkins. Kylie Patterson. Was the quarterback on the wildcat. And now it's 3rd and about 4.
And that's the play calls. You're going to have to mix it up. And Dietz still not on the field. He's actually been taken off the field. So
I wonder if he got hurt in that play with when Pelman was wrapping him up.
might have been, or might be trying to do something different, give it a little more time.
Quarterback keeper.
Yep.
And Kylie Patterson will pick up about 3.
Kylie Patterson just nice job scrambling around, was able to find a gap and then still able to pick up a couple yards.
Now it's 4th and 2.
And Dietz is back out there.
Are they going for it? Or are they gonna, I assume he's going to drop back and kick.
He's got Zidane Thomas right behind him in the high eye, so.
Oh, they're trying to draw the Indians off.
Yep. Yep, there goes Dietz. He's going to now do the pooch punt.
Did a nice job of it as well. Didn't get a very friendly roll, but it will roll down inside, just inside the 20-yard line. Penn Hills will start again at their own 20, this time with 4:19 to go here in quarter number 1. Penn Hills still up by 10.
That's another time where we saw the pooch punt kind of not work against Penn Hills, but we saw a couple weeks ago where that was an issue. They didn't have a defender back. And in the end, starting in deep within Penn Hills territory.
Key follows his blockers across the 25 to 30. Key into the secondary. It's a foot race out across the 40 to the 45-yard line, and he'll go down at the Fox Chapel, about the Fox Chapel 49. That did not look like a play was going to go for 41 yards.
No, it did not. And then eventually, here we are sitting, and looked like it was just going to be like a 4-yard gain, and Amir Key bounces it out, and
Key again. Wrapped up after a pickup of about a yard. Chris Rogowski on the tackle for Fox Chapel. Let's say a special hello to Dink. Dink, I know you're watching. That's Mrs. Loughran, so you're not in the know. Duggar, option this way. Gets submarined by Kylie Patterson. Keeps him short of the first down. Picks up about 8 yards. And Penn Hills looking at it 3rd and 1.
3rd and short, and can go any way. Which you can go with Derek Topak, you can go with Amir Key, you can stick it with Duggar.
They're in the pistol. And it'll be Topak this way. Stacked up at the 40-yard line. Oh, no gain. Nice job by the Foxes to stack up Penn Hills.
Really,
it'll be 4th and a yard.
Looked like they grabbed his jersey and kind of pulled him back a little bit to make sure he didn't, because at first it looked like he was going to easily get there. I think that's one of those plays where you're going on a 4th down, you got 2 minutes to go, your defense has been showing pretty good so far. And it's one of the ones, if we get it on this play, great. If we don't, we get a yard or we split it in half, then
well, the defense has been playing very well.
Yes.
Fox Chapel did start a drive. at the 45-yard line. Topek is stacked up. A second effort. He'll be close. I think he's going to be short, though. He is going to be short. Penn Hills is going to turn the ball over on downs with 1:45 to go here in the first quarter. Big lift for the Foxes.
2 straight drives that the Foxes have stood tall against Penn Hills, and it almost looked like Topek got flung into about the 39-yard line, but they said his progression was stopped at the 40. I thought he was going to pick it up for a second. Coach Ladon's talking to the line judge about it on the near side.
Doesn't look happy.
It looks like
it did. I mean, it did look like he was stopped.
Right.
He was stacked up a bit, but he kept the feet moving, and then he kind of fell forward. Not a favorable spot, but you know what? To give credit for Fox Chapel. Patterson will have the first down for Fox Chapel. They move into Penn Hills territory. First offensive first down for Fox Chapel tonight.
Yeah, nice job by Coley Patterson. Kind of with that little read option. Then he's rolling out. He can pitch it out to his outside, but then cuts it up the field, sees a hole, and picks up a first down. The Wildcats going for the Foxes.
Thomas, well, we'll call it no gain. Maybe half a yard. Well, they're going to call it second down and 9, so we'll give him a yard.
And it's almost one of those where Patterson, I think 9 times out of 10 could hold on to it, not hand it off to Zidane Thomas, and bounce it outside and at least pick up a couple more, as Penn Hills has been stacking the box to hold Thomas.
Patterson tries to get to the outside. Does a nice job of breaking a tackle. Gets down inside the 40 to the 38-yard line. That's 8 yards. It'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
And just as I mentioned, we'll get down to 10 seconds left in the quarter. He keeps the ball, and he's able to break a tackle and picks up 8. Initially, he was actually going to pick up about 3 before he broke the tackle.
Fox Chapel does not get the playoff. After 1, the score, Penn Hills 10, Fox Chapel nothing.
Explosive beginning to the first quarter, and then stalls out. Both defenses just holding true.
We had 10 points in, the first?
The first minute and 36 seconds.
Yeah.
10 points and then nothing since.
Well, credit Fox Chapel. They didn't just pack up and go home. And now with a 3rd and 1, I'm thinking you're looking at 2-down territory here. If you stay within 3rd and 1 and go to 4th and 1. Patterson tosses right side for Zidane Thomas, and he'll be dragged down from behind. We'll lose a yard.
Zidane Thomas on the carry, brought down by Joe Long.
Jawan Brown with a tackle, and he's going to limp off the field.
He's actually going to go down.
He did.
But a beautiful job by Brown to make the tackle and stay contained, and was the first one to Zidane Thomas. And normally, a bigger back like Zidane Thomas is, you're looking for, your help from your other defenders. Thomas coming in, 5'10", 200, and he's a built 200. Able to make the tackle and bring up a 4th and 2 instead of 4th and 1. He's able to walk off under his own power. Might have been one of those ones where it got rolled up just a little bit, maybe, a little Charlie horse.
Fourth and 2. Dietz back in. Well, that changes things.
That changes things drastically, and that cannot be too happy for Coach Lawhorn. And it was not just one, but it was 2 foxes that were going on there on Colin Kawakowski and also the right tackle, Sean Fetzko. They were the 2. Actually, excuse me, that was Nick Corby. Were the 2 foxes to jump early, not even close to the snap count. And we'll bring out the punting unit.
Ethan Wilson. The punt takes the low snap. It's a nice kick away. Roach catches it on the run at the 25, and we'll go down at the 35. Bit of a dangerous play there, but Roach able to pull it off.
No Roach on the return.
So now the Indians get the ball back.
A little dangerous on that kick return, but I think that was a smart move by Roach. He knew neither defender was close enough. Run up, make the catch. Don't let it roll out inside the 20. And the worst you can do is you catch it and you get tackled instantly at the 25. It's better than starting at the 20, but gets a 10-yard return. And last time we saw Penn Hills here, they've struck on one play.
See if they do it again. Duggar is going to throw. Steps up into the pocket and he'll be sacked. Brought down back inside the 35 at the 34-yard line. Excuse me, the 29-yard line. We'll lose 5. RJ, it's first play of the game is 65-yard touchdown. And then we had the fumble, which Penn Hills basically went 3 and out. Again, 3 yards in 3 plays and kicked a field goal.
Yeah.
Okay. Penn Hills, another big play, 31 yards, and then they stalled. Well, they turned the ball over on downs. Fox Chapel's biggest play has been 13 yards. Are we watching a defensive struggle?
I think we're watching.
Or just 2 deep offenses that can't really get it going?
Mix of both, I'm going to go with.
Fox Chapel will stack Amir Key up for a yard.
I think we're seeing a mix of both. And Fox Chapel doesn't have the biggest defensive line in front 7, but they got some speed. They're getting upfield in a hurry, and they're putting a lot of pressure on Julian Duggar. They're collapsing that pocket. The best pocket he had was that first ball. He just dropped back and had a clean pocket, was able to step into it. Otherwise, there's been 2 or 3 men in his face in the backfield.
I think that first play really caught Fox Chapel off guard. Duggar, big drop, steps up in the pocket, launches one downfield, has Noel Roach, and the pass is picked off. Lorenzo Jenkins hauls it in. That was almost as good as a punt. Fox Chapel will have it at the 29-yard line. With 9:33 to go here in the first half.
Underthrown, and he was able to get to it.
Oh.
Nice job by Lorenzo Jenkins. He came across from the middle. He's kind of like the free safety. Comes across and high points that ball. Doesn't let it get to the wide receiver. And makes a beautiful play on it. And like you said, necessarily it is a punt in the end, but it's still a turnover though, and you got to clean those up a little bit.
Tell you, Fox Chapel got away with a call though there because Noel Roach was like pushed or pulled, but they got their hands on him for the interception. But nothing called, and Fox Chapel has the football, and they'll pick up 3 on their first play.
Catch and pitch between Dietz and Patterson, just short couple yards, and that can open it up for Colin Dietz, keeping the underneath routes and then open it up for the bigger plays down the field.
Hey, 3, 3, and 4 gets you 10.
That's true.
And then that gets you 4 more. Dietz throws right side, and a pass is incomplete. Jaden Duggar almost intercepted. But Colin Kwiatkowski turned defensive back to break it up.
Yeah, Kwiatkowski had to make that defensive back. Duggar had the underneath of him, and so that pass was basically tailor-made for Duggar. But Kwiatkowski, just great job not to interfere and get an offensive pass interference, but make a play on the ball and knock it down.
Third down and 7. Guess if you're Fox Chapel, you have to try to stretch out the defense a little bit, try a little bit on the deep balls. Dietz steps up in the pocket, tries to get away, and he'll be sacked. Luke Pugliese will bring him down back at the 29-yard line.
Dietz sacked on the play by Luke Pugliese.
And a man who won't get a half sack but should, Keith Pellman. Pellman was the one that drove Dietz up into the pocket, and that allowed Pugliese to get in there and make the sack. It was really Pellman's pressure off the right edge. But a nice job, and 4 and out, responding after the interception for Penn Hills.
Roach back at his 45. High snap. Nice job getting the kick away. We'll hit it to 50. Roach bobbles it at the 43. Tries to go somewhere and cannot. Nice defensive play on the special teams by Zidane Thomas. You can see Roach is trying to get something started here. Penn Hills starting at their own 42. Again, here's the drives we had in the half. 1 play, 65 yards, touchdown. 1 play, 20-yard loss and a fumble. Penn Hills gets it back. 3 plays and a field goal. Fox Chapel, 3 and out. Penn Hills, 3 and out. Fox Chapel, 3 and out. Penn Hills, 5, turning the ball over on downs. Fox Chapel goes 3 and out. Penn Hills, 3 and an interception. And Fox Chapel can't do anything. They go 3 and out. Zidane Thomas with the exclamation point tackle on Alan Parker. No gain. Again, maybe we are watching a good two good defenses.
I think we are. I mean, we saw last week, and it's not like either one's really misfiring. Both teams are getting pressure upfield, making tackles at the line. You know, a couple broken here for Fox Chapel and a couple broken here for Penn Hills, and that's been the big plays. Otherwise, it's been right around the initial line of scrimmage.
Duggar flushed out of the pocket, under pressure, gets a pass away. Yeah, it's incomplete. Mitchell was in the area. It's flushed out of the pocket by Caleb Kulikowski. He brought the pressure.
Yeah, it's almost like Fox Chapel's bringing a slight delayed blitz. It's like the linebackers sit there, and then all of a sudden they go. They go upfield, and it was actually a nice job by Parker to pick up a big block, or Duggar could have been brought down for a sack, a loss of 5 or more.
3rd and 10. Duggar pressure against it, gets a pass away and too high for Mitchell. Now it's 4th and 10.
That pass was behind Mitchell, and that was one where Duggar was just trying to get it off at the last second. Pressure was right in his grill, in his house, and knew he had to get it out fast and in a hurry, but behind his lead man and bring out the punting unit once more.
Clock stops with 7:09 to go here in the first half. Penn Hills 10, Fox Chapel nothing. Silverman booting it from his 32. Nice high kick Fair catch called for. And bobbled inside the 25. Penn Hills says they have it, and they do at the 22. Second turnover of the game for Fox Chapel gives Penn Hills field position at the 22.
And maybe that's the break you need. You got a defensive struggle going on. Maybe you need that mistake, and this is the time to capitalize. You capitalize. You got 3 points on a fumble off a snap. Now you get a botched punt return. Now you're at the 22-yard line. Pick up. You got to go for the score, but you're at least in field goal range already.
Indians keep it on the ground, and it'll be first and goal, Penn Hills. Amir Key to the 8-yard line for 14.
That was a strong run off the right side by Amir Key. I honestly thought he was going to get into the end zone, but he was able to. Fox Chapel defender was able to get there, but wide open lane and nice big rush for a first and goal.
Key again, 10-5, touchdown, Penn Hills Indians. Indians extend the lead with 6:47 to go. Here in Silverman to try the point after. And the kick is up and good. Again, 6:47 to go, first half. Penn Hills 17, Fox Chapel
0.
So I guess technically 2 plays, 22 yards.
Well, the drive, yeah, it's technically 2:22. But, drive really started before that. But the fumble punt, you capitalize.
Right.
You capitalized on a mistake last time. You got 3 points. This time you get 7. And that's what, like we said, that might be the break they needed. And 2 big runs by Amir Key. And that one, another time the offensive line just moved Fox Chapel all the way, created the hole that was needed to be done for the running back, and Key waltzed into the end zone like it was nothing. And so far, through my numbers, Fox Chapel only with 8 yards, while Penn Hills with 189 yards.
Kickoff at the 24-yard line. And Fox Chapel will return it out close to the 35.
Jacob DeMott on the return. Hill forcing him out of bounds.
Fox will take over at the 33-yard line. And Steph Strauss is in the house. That's right. Penn Hills takes care of people in the press box and the officials. And the Indians will sack Colin Dietz at the 29-yard line. Dietz did a nice job of holding on to the football.
Yeah, but that was a nice job pushing upfield. Aiden Pham. I think it was Aiden Pham. 57. Or 51. We'll find out later.
Dietz again steps up in the pocket, throws, and a pass picked off at the 45-yard line. Noel Roach will be tackled for a 3-yard loss on the return. But the Indians will take over at the Fox Chapel 48-yard line. An opportunity to put this one away.
Great job by Noel Roach. He's under the coverage the entire way. As Dietz steps up, and he was able to find his way, and Roach just jumped it and pulled off the interception. You might have lost 3, but you got the ball back in your offense's hand.
Our replay's a little
behind.
One play behind.
Yep.
Topek will switch to Duggar's left. And Duggar on the option gets dropped for a loss. Back to the other 48.
We got an injured Indian on the field. And that almost looked like it was a busted play, you know.
No, I thought the way it looked, I thought maybe he'd you know, it kind of almost slid it into Key.
Yeah, and the way Key ran upfield like he was a shot out of a gun. He shot upfield, and then Duggar still got the ball. I don't know if Key was supposed to stay with him or if he was supposed to get upfield more and get the block. Brendan Hill was the man that went down for Penn Hills and currently being attended to.
Looked like the receiver went early on the near side. Nothing called. Pass incomplete. Gonna bring up a 3rd down.
It almost looked like Cam Thomas was the man.
Dante Pollard in the house, down by the end zone off to our right. I wish our best for Dante. Duggar swing pass this way to the other Duggar. And they'll pick up about a yard. Of course, we're wishing our best for Dante Pollard, who's having an excellent season. Hate to see that for anybody, especially for a senior.
Yes.
You know, great kid, too. Silverman will come on to punt. Fair catch called for and made at the 19-yard line. 4:40 to go in the first half. Penn Hills 17. Fox Chapel nothing.
Fox Chapel begins their drive on their 20-yard.
Well, if you like punts, this is a game for you.
Punts, defensive struggle.
You know, I know we're kind of joking about that as far as the punting goes, but this has been a defensive game. I mean,
yes.
Fox Chapel's down 17. They've given Penn Hills 10 points on turnovers. They gave them the ball at the 18 and then, the 22-yard line. And Penn Hills' first play of the game, they threw the 65-yard bomb. It's really been an even matchup. Almost ready to call a spectacular catch by Colin Kwiatkowski. He's unable to hold on to it. It's incomplete. Brings up 2nd down for the Foxes. Foxes in the white jerseys, black pants. Penn Hills in the red jerseys, white pants.
With all the red jerseys tonight. No number changes, as we saw last time.
They threw us off, didn't they?
Yeah. Got to keep us on our toes here and there. We get too comfortable.
Maybe that's why my roster disappeared. It was the wrong one. No gain there for Thomas.
And that's what we've seen tonight. Both teams within the box have done a great job of holding the run, and that's both these teams. They establish the run to get the passing game going. Now, Penn Hills uses the run a little bit more, but Fox Chapel feeds off it to open up their passing game, and then they've been able to go downfield from there.
Thomas shifts to Dietz's right. 3 receivers that way. Dietz looks, throws, pass complete underneath. Short gain to Jenkins. About 5 yards. It'll be 4th and 5.
Another punting unit coming out. And that was just a great coverage play by Penn Hills. And Dietz went through his progression, and then the only man he had left was Jenkins, and just dumped it off to pick up a couple yards and allow his punter, Ethan Wilson, to come out.
Punt coming with 3:20 to go here in the first half. And over and kick, fair catch, called for and made at the 49-yard line. I have to tell you, RJ, we kind of joked last week about Helen, who makes everything happen here as far as set up, tear down, does everything, runs our camera, does the audio and everything else. But this week here at home, we have to commend her because she's feeding us too. Helen with the crock pot of pulled pork in the press box tonight. She does it all.
Yes.
Producer, camera woman, chef extraordinaire.
Feeds the crew and keeps them in line at the same time.
Yeah, she does keep us in line, doesn't she? Duggar rolls this way, looks, throws, pass complete. Mitchell breaks a tackle, dives ahead to about the 42-yard line of Fox Chapel. Pickup of about 9. It'll be 2nd and 1. It was Mitchell with the early touchdown for Penn Hills on the opening play of the game.
Yeah, nice job by Mitchell not to stop going upfield. He kept the feet churning and broke a tackle, and what looked like it might have been only a gain of about 5 ends up being a gain of 9.
Well, Zidane Thomas brought him down. Could have been more. Play action. Duggar under pressure from behind. Gets away. That was Rogalski with the pressure, and Duggar will have a first down at the 25-yard line. 17-yard scamper for the quarterback down to the 25. Oh, the mark was a 26, so it's a 16-yard scamper. But still a first down nonetheless.
And Rogalski thought he had him in the back, but he was coming from that blind side, and Duggar just turns on the speed, and off he goes 16 yards down the field.
It was Kylie Patterson who finally knocked him out of bounds. Duggar throws back this way, and the pass too short. He had his brother Jaden wide open.
And it looked like he got in between of, do I run for the first down or do I throw it? And if he just stops for a half second to set his feet, he probably completes his pass. And we're watching the replay. He rolls. He doesn't really set. He just kind of does a jump throw, and it lands at the feet of Jaden Duggar. And if he sets his feet, he can deliver it, and it's going to be an easy walk-in touchdown for his brother.
Who caught the first touchdown pass of Julian this season. Key inside the 20 with a pickup of about 8. And Penn Hills with a 3rd and 2. Clock approaching 2 minutes to go here in quarter number 2. Third down, the Indians. Duggar hit as he throws. Contact in the end zone, but nothing called. Pass was intended for Chase Barney. Kelly Patterson on the coverage. Now it's 4th and 2. And on 4th and 2, they're going to bring out 4th and 3. They're going to bring out Jonas Silverman to try 36-yarder. Duggar to hold. And Penn Hills moves. Now it's going to become a 41-yarder.
Illegal procedure. Penn Hills.
Jaden Duggar to hold. Low snap. Duggar shoots the fire, picks it up, rolls this way. Gets inside the 20-yard line, cuts it back inside the 10. It'll be 1st and goal, Penn Hills. At about the 2-yard line.
James Duggar to the Penn Hills 1st and goal.
I'm going to go with that was by design. But the way the snap rolled to Jaden Duggar, it almost looked like he just kind of did it himself and called fire himself on mid-play and picks up not just the first down, but makes it 1st and goal and short.
They're at the 3-yard line. I'm not sure. Silverman has the leg.
Yes.
And that ball rolled in. I think, I'm not sure it was planned.
I'm thinking Duggar called fire at the last second on that one. His initial handoff from Julian Duggar to the up man.
Flag on the play.
Penalty, though. An illegal shift was called against Penn Hills. The handoff went to Derek Topak.
Well, it negates the play, moves them back to the 8-yard line. .125 to go here in the half. Penn Hills lots of time and 3 timeouts. Duggar option left side. And he'll be chased out of bounds at the 15-yard line.
And that's where the experience is going to come in. You're the quarterback. You still have the ball in your hands. You're running it. Just throw it through the end zone. Just throw it. You don't take the loss. Now you back it all the way up to the 15. You're at the 8, 7-yard loss. Instead, just chuck it out. Over top, you got a wide receiver that was standing near the end zone. Just throw it over top of him. They can say he's the man intended to target, and you don't have a penalty. And now you have 2nd and goal from the 8 instead of from the 16.
It's Topak to Duggar's right. He'll come out in the flat this way. Duggar rolls this way. Pass completed into the end zone to Jaden Duggar for a touchdown, but this one's going to come back. Penalty flag back at the 22-yard line.
That's an illegal crackback block on Derek Topak. He's the one that came back, and he lit up John Lacey. But watching it back, you can't do that. The player, you're coming from the blind side. You cannot make that block, and that was an instant penalty.
Well, the faithful here in the stands liked it.
Oh, yeah. But unfortunately, that is not legal in today's day and age.
Now move Penn Hills, who started this at a 1st and goal at the 3-yard line, now back at their 31.
Yeah, 1st and goal.
Well, that's a spot foul.
Yeah, it'll go from the spot. So
now they're back at the 37. So in essence, a 21-yard penalty.
Yep.
Now I guess Duggar's going to throw. Under pressure, the Foxes are all over the place, but they overrun them. But they keep them inside the 25, outside the 25-yard line to the 27. Picks up about 10. But it's still 3rd and goal.
We've run about.
It's gonna be to 29.
We've run about 6 plays. Starting at 1st and goal from the 3.
Seems that way.
Yeah.
Duggar rolling left, throws, has a man. That's Mitchell. Mitchell comes right back to the white jerseys at the 25-yard line.
Duggar pass complete to DeAndre Mitchell.
Penn Hills still not using a timeout. It's
Coach LaDon's going to let this go down to use a timeout. He's going to run that play clock as far as he can. It'll be about 7 seconds left on the clock, on the game clock.
now they can try to run a play or bring out Silverman.
I think you're bringing out Silverman.
Be a 42-yarder.
I'm trying for it, you know. You're already up 17-0. Try to get points. If he doesn't make it, you know, it is what it is.
Well, it's timeout with 7 seconds to go.
Timeout. Penn Hills.
No, this drive began back at the 49-yard line. And it seems like forever ago, but it was 3:20 on the clock.
Well, when you have a field goal attempt that had a false start, and then a fake field goal attempt that got you to the 1st and goal at 3, and then you have a illegal shift, and then you run out of bounds, loss of 8 yards, and then an illegal crackback walk, takes you way back.
Plum up 28-0 on Knock. Our neighbors to the east win tonight. They win their conference.
The Plum Mustangs.
How about that? The Stangs are for real.
Yep, here comes Silverman trying that 42-yarder.
Well, let's see.
Nope.
This one's going to be short.
Field goal is no good.
Well, Fox Chapel will get it with 3 seconds to go.
Begins their drive.
Now here's the thing about high school sports, the rules on the field goal.
On their own
It was a 42-yard attempt. They had the ball at the 35-yard line-ish.
Yep.
Missed the field goal. Fox Chapel gets it at the 20.
Yeah, ball's on the 25.
Not at the 30. I mean, you try if you're back at the 40, you don't want to punt, try a field goal.
Try it.
And you're going to,
Let them rip.
if you're back at your own 10, try a field goal. If
Yep.
it's short, they get it to 20. Could it be that ludicrous?
No, I honestly, it works. You're not, because if you kick it in the end zone, touchback, it puts it at the 20 if you do a punt anyway, so you might as well try to field goal. Maybe your kicker catches one and makes it.
And Fox Chapel takes a knee. We'll go to the locker room. Score, halftime. That's your halftime score. Penn Hills 17, Fox Chapel nothing. Second half action coming your way shortly here on the Penn Hills Indians Football Network.
Homecoming halftime festivities will begin momentarily. welcome to the homecoming court 2020. Our first couple, Irene Bowser being escorted by Royce. Irene is the secretary of the Student Council, a fourth-year varsity swimmer, a role model and member of the girls' choir. After high school, Irene plans to attend a four-year university and major in marketing. Royce, also known as Rizzy, is a varsity baseball and basketball player. He plays the piano, bass guitar, and produces music. Royce is a member of the orchestra, jazz band, role models, and Black Student Union. He plans on pursuing a degree in business management. Put your hands together for Irene and Royce. Next up, Kayla Bowser, escorted by Jonah Silverman. Kayla is a 4.1 student and daughter of Tamira Rush and Doran Bowser. She is a member of the National Honor Society, Black Student Union, SAD, role models, and is cheer captain. Kayla plans on attending the University of Pittsburgh, exploring nursing, specializing in pediatrics. During high school includes soccer, football, cross country, track, and hometown IQ. After high school, he plans on attending college to study computer science and hopefully play sports as well. Kayla and Jonah. Next up, being escorted by Noel Roach, Faith Crawford. Faith is the president of Student Council, a member of the Black National Honor Society and varsity track. After high school, she plans to attend Howard University, majoring in business with a concentration in finance or accounting. She hopes to use her business degree to expand her clothing brand, Aura Collective. A wide receiver and safety for the football team. He also plays basketball and runs track. He is a two-time WPIAL champion and state champion. He plans on pursuing a career in engineering or architecture. Faith and Noel. Being escorted by Eddie Daniels, Jayla Golden. Jayla has participated in girls basketball for 3 years and served as a role model for other students in the building. Her plans after high school are to attend a 4-year college and major in nursing to ultimately become a nurse anesthetist. Eddie is a member of the varsity basketball and varsity volleyball teams and is also a role model. He plans on playing at the college level and eventually going pro. Jayla and Eddie. Being escorted by Jessie Lomax. Jets. The 8th grade and is now a captain on the varsity cheerleading team. She is a lead role model, a member of the SAD Club, and is an honor roll student. After high school, she plans to attend college to pursue a career in teaching. Jessie Lomax is a member of the boys varsity basketball team and a member of SAD. After high school, he plans to attend the university. Athletic trainer, Tanaya and Jessie. Being escorted by Isaiah Williams, Saxon McKisson. Saxon is a 2021 tribe leader. She is a member of the track team and Black Student Union. She plans on furthering her education by attending a medical school to become a general surgeon. Isaiah, also known as Sweezy, is the drum major for our Big Red Marching Band. It's an honorary department has to offer. He's a member of SAD Club and National Honor Society. He plans on pursuing a career in public health. Saxon and Isaiah. She is also a member of the Black Student Union. She plans on continuing in college while pursuing a degree in mechanical engineering. Alan has played volleyball and basketball during his high school career, and after he graduates, he would like to play volleyball at the collegiate level. Tamaya and ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for our entire homecoming court. And now it is time to announce the king and queen of our homecoming court. First, your 2020 homecoming king is... And your 2020 homecoming queen is... Faith Crawford! Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for our king and queen, Ed Daniels and Faith Crawford, and our entire 2020 homecoming court.
I'm gonna put him inside. Because he didn't tell me. He didn't tell me.
It looks like they are. But first, we have a couple people that are celebrating special days in the band. Our alto sax player, Jessie Lomax, and our drum major, Gabby, who wanted to sing happy birthday to them. So on the count of 3, everybody sing. 1, 2, 3. And now, let's kick the show off with Jumping Jack. Recorded in 1967 and covered by a number of artists, including Big Bad Voodoo Daddy in 1996. Made famous in the Disney movie The Jungle Book, featuring our visual ensemble, as well as a trio of Abby Upshot, Ben Davidson, and David Ben Wren. Let's hear from these King of Swingers who play a little bit of Latin twist, and I Want to Be Like You. outstanding performance. I mean, you see the whole show. Marching band is led by Tiffany Szynski. Assistant directors are Laura Fitzroy and David Stamate. Color guard instructor is Cassie Kirby. Bass band instructor is Laura Capano. Rhythm and choreography is by Joe Nichols. Percussion instructor is Dave Kirby. Visual ensemble captains are David Keeler, Paige Bob, and Madison Vogel. The voice of the band, Eric Cooper, is saying thank you so much for your attention and support this evening.
What do you think? Good start?
I started with 42. I thought it'd be good.
Yeah. You could just set it right here.
Yeah, that's fine. I think that's my girlfriend. we just came back from Hershey today.
Okay.
It was her birthday. She learned about it.
I've been there before. It was really great.
Oh God, I have to drive 3.5 hours to get to Squad Street.
The whole time I'm perfectly cursing.
Yeah. I got great friends all over. It was pretty good.
There you go.
Must have been the secret weapon. That was distracting. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate it a bunch, guys.
And now, pay your attention up to up on the track, right in front of our student section, known as the Tribe. This group is about to light it up, literally. Make some noise for the basses, the quads, the snares, the cymbals. You know them, you love them. The heart of the band, your Penn Hills Drumline.
You're right, that'd be a loss. Thank you, Bill. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you. We'll make it more than two mistakes. All right. Well, enjoy. Enjoy Colin Town.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
we're off the guard.
Yep, exactly.
All right, thank you.
No problem.
Second half action about to get underway here at UHAS McGinley Stadium with the score Penn Hills 17, Fox Chapel nothing. RJ, what can we expect here in half number 2, you think?
I think we're going to still see a defensive slugfest, but if I'm Fox Chapel, I go back to the Wildcat. That was working for the offense there a little bit. And Penn Hills, stay true to yourself. Run the ball, and that opens up the passing game for Julian Duggar. Then you go with that, but keep that running game going.
High, short kick taken at the 30-yard line. And Fox Chapel return it out across the 35 to the 37.
Congratulations to Ed Daniels and Faith Crawford, your homecoming king and queen.
And they do come out sort of in the Wildcat. And just like that, it's a pickup of 4.
Khalil Patterson, like we mentioned, that Wildcat, that's what was working before. And able to pick up 4 there. And as we mentioned before, you get a game of 4, you get a game of 3, and another 3. Boom, you got a first down in 3 plays.
So that'll be 4 for 4. Dane Thomas ahead for a couple. And we'll be looking at a 3rd and 3.
And you run this with this Wildcat formation, you can kind of speed up the offense. You don't have to do the traditional huddle. You know, they initially look to the sideline anyways for the play call, but this allows you to even keep the pace up a little bit more.
Thomas again. Find his way ahead for 2, and it'll be 4th and a yard. See a couple of Foxes were standing there pointing for the first down. If they could dive on the pile and push him ahead.
Push him ahead, don't stand there.
Push him ahead.
Down 17, you're already in your midfield, you got to go for it. You have at least picked up positive yardage on each play so far.
Fourth and 1. Toss this way. Thomas will have the first down. And go out of bounds at the 50-yard line.
And that was an easy outside pitch to Thomas. They've been running up the middle the previous 3 plays, and then this time you come near side to the outside, and easy pitch for Patterson to Thomas, and first down.
Fox Chapel's 3rd first down of the game. First one came via penalty.
Ball was out of bounds.
Flag on the field. Illegal procedure. Fox Chapel.
I didn't read the time back.
And we get the false start against Fox Chapel. So just after getting the offensive rolling, and then you go out and fortunately get a false start and back you up 5 more yards. And now we'll see Colin Dietz enter back into the game, facing a 1st and 15.
And now they take too much time?
Yep, delay a game.
Wow. Well, down 17. They got their first down, initial one of the half here.
Yeah.
And now 2 penalties marks them off backwards.
Self-inflicted wounds. And that's what could keep you out of the playoffs.
Pass intended for Lorenzo Jenkins, incomplete.
Intended for Jenkins.
I feel you. And Dietz had to get that one early. He had pressure already again in the backfield. And Jenkins was covered tightly, and I think he was worried about the man coming across field to make the hit, to making the catch, and the ball slips through his hands.
Clock stopped, 9:56 to go here in the third quarter. Penn Hills 17, Fox Chapel nothing. Quick pass underneath. Still on his feet, looking for somewhere to go, trying to get to the outside, and it'll be pushed out of bounds for a 3-yard loss as Dane Thomas. Excuse me, it was Kylie Patterson.
Pushed out of bounds by no. Roach. Third down.
Just an unfortunate series of events. Had the Wildcat going, but then you get the 2 penalties, and that has to bring out Colin Dietz, and that has limited the offense a little bit.
Dietz steps up, throws underneath, pass complete. Jenkins cuts across the 50. That'll be pushed out of bounds at the Penn Hills 48-yard line. That's 7 yards, but well short of the first down.
Yeah, that was all Dietz could do because he was surrounded by a couple Indians. It looked like he was being brought down. Another one where he just kind of flipped it over the top to Jenkins, and nice job by Jenkins to make it 4th and 9. Looked like he was going to be bottlenecked right on the Fox Chapel 45 initially.
Dietz all alone back there. Trips to his right. Twins left side. Looks, throws, pass complete underneath. Patterson will pick up about 3, but short of the first down. And Fox Chapel will turn the ball over on downs, close to midfield. Penn Hills will take over with 8:37 to go here in the third quarter at their own 46-yard line.
Yeah, the man who's not going to get any credit on that tackle, but really should, was Cam Hopkins. Hopkins was the one that grabbed Patterson's jersey to slow him down to allow another defender to come up and make the tackle to force the turnover on down. So great job by Cam Hopkins to stay aware. We got a whistle. Looks like we got some. We got to push up the play clock, and that will be underway.
Key, big gain, short of the first down, but a big gain nonetheless. About 8. And it'll be 2nd down and 2.
How about Amir Key? Yeah, last week has to be jetted into the team due to an injury to Dante Pollard. And then coming into this week, beginning of the game really wasn't getting anything. Now the offensive line's going. He's picking up 6-7 yards at least at a time. And yeah, he's only a freshman. I mean, you're starting to see the playmaking ability for Amir Key.
And Key picks up the first down.
Key off the carry.
Yeah, we mentioned Tommy Lochran early in the game. A lot of folks don't know. I mentioned it to you pregame, but it's back in the day, Tommy Lochran was an assistant coach at Penn Hills. In fact, he was my sophomore team coach back in 79. 1979. That was my geometry teacher in 10th grade. Pass caught underneath. Up the sideline and out of bounds at the 15-yard line goes Brendan Hill. How did he keep that off the carpet?
How did he catch it? That was a fastball coming out of the left hand of Julian Duggar. I mean, that ball, he threaded the needle. First of all, there's defenders. I'm watching this playback here. Rolls out to the far side and just rips one, makes it miss a defender. Lorenzo Jenkins tries to jump it, but what do you do?
Yeah, you look at it. How did it get by Jenkins? You're right. It was a fireball. Key stacked up in the backfield. We'll lose a yard. But he protected the football. Presence of mind by the freshman.
Yeah. I mean, you're starting to see the younger core step up when needed to. You know, we've talked about how you already have a freshman quarterback leading the way, and now you've had a lot of seniors was your talented your star players. You could say your wide receivers, your running backs. Now you're starting to see some of the younger guys step up here and show what they got because they know, hey, next 3 years we're the guys. We're the ones our numbers are going to be called.
Jaden Duggar in motion to the near side. It'll be Key as Lane. Inside the 15. Down to the 10-yard line. Pickup of 6. I mean, he's not having himself a nice little night tonight, hasn't he?
Yeah,
doesn't he?
He's having a good one. I mean, right now, got him 13 carries, 83 yards in the lone score, averaging 6.4 yards a carry. And that play was beautiful. They moved Jaden Duggar in motion to the near side. That opened up that left side because it was man coverage for Amir Key.
No, he gets a break. Topek back in. And Topek inside the 10, reads tacklers, goes inside the 5, and scores the Penn Hills touchdown. That's 10 for 10, who picks up 6. See, Amir Key is more that finesse kind of back. Then they bring Topek in, and Topek just pounds the ball.
He's just going to run right over you.
And as soon as he got past that 5-yard line, he was just untouched into the end zone. Penn Hills now up 23-0, trying the point after. And the kick is up and good. 5:37 to go, third quarter. Penn Hills 24, Fox Chapel nothing. You're watching the Penn Hills Indians Football Network. Pine Richland up 42-0 on North Hills. And Plum 35-0 in the second quarter over Knock. Kickoff bounces at the 21, rolls back, picked up at the 11. And returned out to the 22-yard line.
Great job by Khalil Patterson. The ball got away, and then he's able to pick it up and get a 11-yard gain out of it on the return to the 22. It looked like he initially could have been brought down around the 15.
Here's Thomas Jefferson, 41, Ringgold, nothing in the fourth. Frazier up 31-0 over Beth Center. North Allegheny, 21, Cannon Mac, nothing at the half.
And how about this one that was 10 minutes ago at the half? Penn Trafford 28, Connellsville 28. That game all square.
Wow. I like to see the box of what happened there. It was, I gave Coach LaDon a score at halftime. It was 21-7. I mean, our halftime. I'm
Yeah.
not sure exactly when I don't recall when in the game it was, but they're not at a 28.
Yep, and that Thomas Jefferson score is final, 41-0 over Ringgold. The Jaguars 5-0 on the year. Trying to see if we could find a Pine Richland score. Oh, there it is, 52-0. And gonna believe that's your final. So Pine Richland locks up the Northeast Conference. With that, I would assume they're locking that one up officially tonight.
I think with Penn Hills wins this one, they will lock it up. Pass complete out to the near side at the 26-yard line. It's Lorenzo Jenkins who hauls it in. Yeah, I believe that's how it works. I think if Penn Hills wins and Pine Richland wins, Pine Richland wins the conference.
Yeah, because Pine Richland would know the tiebreaker if Pine Richland would be upset next week in the final week of the season.
If Penn Hills wins, they both have one conference loss, but Pine Richland wins the tiebreaker.
Right. And I'm going to guess the Rams will hold the #1 seed when the brackets finally come out in a week and a half's time.
You're going out on a limb there.
#1 team WPIL in Class 5A as Luke Puglisi brings down Colin Dietz.
Back at the 15-yard line. That's an 11-yard loss. Yeah, remember, Pine Richland's the defending 6A champs.
Yeah.
I mean, they're welcome to go out and play 6A playoffs if they'd like. I mean, I think they would fare very well.
I mean, look at Aliquippa playing up at 4A this year. They're doing just fine.
You know, I saw somebody tweeted this week. It was like a team picture of them during a game. They all huddled together. And there's 25 of them, maybe 20. I don't know. They're not a very large team numbers-wise, but I'm thinking, you know, this is a 4A team, and I'm like, well, okay, you want to put them in 5A? What do you want to do? I mean, they're whatever level they are, they win. Call it Kwiatkowski unable to come up with on the far sideline.
Yeah.
Bring up a 4th down.
Aliquippa by number is a single A team. They're the size of Clairton, Jeanette. You know, they're a small team, but they played up in 3A for so many years, and then WPL in the state were like, "You're gonna play in 4A. You're too good now." And now they're like, "Well, okay, we'll just go win a title there now too."
You know what? Let them come up to 5A, then drop them down to 2A. Let them win. You know,
let them win them all.
Let them be the school that won in every category.
Clips do it. That's the punting unit had to wait for their long snapper. And that's going to cause a delay of game.
Of all people to miss that one.
Yeah, that's.
But credit to Quips.
Yes.
Actually,
they're going to get a timeout called. They're going to grant a timeout towards Fox Chapel.
I mean, it's, you know, they're going to be up in the 4A playoffs with Thomas Jefferson, Bell Vernon. Plum's going to be the other conference champ. But, you know, I'm just interested to see when they see that one, if they're going to put Thomas Jefferson and Bell Vernon on the same side.
They have to, and you know what?
I would think they'd have to.
Because, you know, you have to put them on the same side because you want Aliquippa and Thomas Jefferson on opposites to face each other in the championship. You want that game. You want Bill Turback versus and Thomas Jefferson versus the historic Aliquippa Quips.
Oh, absolutely.
Want that game.
But I'm thinking, too, you have Thomas Jefferson 1, and then you'd have Aliquippa 2, Plum 3, and then, you know, there's only 3 conferences.
Yeah.
And the top wild card would be, or the 4th seed, I think, would be Bell Vernon in there. So, you know, if you're going to do it numerically, set them up that way by seeds.
It's going to be fun.
And don't forget McKee Sports. You know, they dropped down into 4A, too.
And the Tigers are having a good year.
High snap. Ooh, and the Penn Hills Indians get to Ethan Wilson.
That ball was never down. We have another penalty
Penn Hills
down
picks
here.
it up and running it into the end zone. Was that Noel Roach?
I think that's Roach, yep.
Well, it'll come back, even if it's offsetting. Where did Roach pick that up at? It was at the
30.
It was just sitting at the 27-yard line, and Roach picks it up, and off he goes.
Well, and the thing, the ball stopped. Normally you see the play just blown dead then. And it almost looked like they were confused because you had a penalty down here because Roach was interfered with down here at about the 33-yard line of Fox Chapel. And then you had the running into the punter or roughing the kicker, whichever one they're going to call, at the 3-yard line. So you got a personal foul, running and roughing the kicker against Penn Hills. Personal foul. Catch interference against Fox Chapel. Offsetting. Repunt.
Okay. I mean, that's why you see when you saw Roach pick it up and go. I mean, you knew, okay, well, it's you know it was going to come back either way, even if it was, the offsetting.
Yes.
If they're both on Penn Hills, it was still coming back.
Yes.
You knew the first one was on Penn Hills, so that's still heads up by Roach.
Oh, yeah.
And Wilson gets the kick away this time. Roach will leave it go, and Fox Chapel will down it.
At the 42. Yep. And
Indians try it again, but I don't get away with it this time.
yeah, Derek Topak was trying for another one to see if they catch him off guard, but it was clearly touched by a Fox. Coach Ladon getting some answers to a couple of questions he has, but still a great field position for Penn Hills.
Well, see what they can do with it. 3:36 to go here in the third. Penn Hills 24, Fox Chapel nothing.
Let me mark that down.
And this has been a long game.
Well, we had the 8 plays that started at the 3-yard line at the end of the half that ended up being a 42-yard field goal attempt by the end. And then this one you have, they go back and forth.
And should we mention it, Derek Topek's Aunt Tanya is watching from Houston, Texas. How do we come up with these, RJ?
I have no idea. They're not here for us.
No, absolutely not. And speaking of Derek Topek, he hauls this one inside the 30. Out of bounds at the Fox Chapel 23-yard line. We'll pick up 19. When he gets the ball and he runs, we mentioned he's a power back and he thunders. But when he's in the open field and he's moving, I mean, he's very smooth.
He has that sneaky speed. People say it's sneaky. It's not really sneaky, but he doesn't traditionally. He has that authoritative run. But when he's in an open field, he's going. He's he's gliding along.
Alan Parker to the 17 for 6.
I don't. Running back wise, the only thing I could think of was hockey. Was Yammer Yager. He never took a lot of strides, but he just glided along the ice, and next thing you know, he's down the ice and he's in the offensive zone like it was nothing. And that's kind of what Topek. It's like all of a sudden he's 15 yards downfield, and you're going, where did he just go? Where did he come from?
That's a nice way of putting it, is gliding. Key will have the first down.
Key off the carry. That's the results. Penn Hills, first down.
Penn Hills now starting to move the ball with some efficiency. And Topek, 5'10 senior, 195 pounds.
And they use him out of the backfield also as kind of like a wide out, that's split back, and he does a lot for this offense and for the defense as well. He's a playmaker on both sides of the ball.
Duggar, flush left, and throws this one. So he threw that one away. DeAndre Cochran, the only one in the area. But Duggar put that one where nobody else was going to get it. Mentioned that earlier on the opportunity where he ran one out of bounds and
lost 8 yards. That's the same exact play. You just throw it over top of a guy, throw it near him, but make sure no one's going to get it, and you live another down and you don't lose any yards.
Well, perhaps the coaches told him that, and they remembered it. Nice pressure on the play by Jason Williams Anderson, number 69 of the Fox Chapel Foxes. And Alan Parker down to the 6-yard line, a 6-yard pickup. Very deceptive 6-yard pickup.
Well, and he was met at the line of scrimmage, and he just kept the feet churning. He kept going, and then the next thing you know, he's got 6 yards on the play.
So, I mean, he was stacked up at the line and just, as you said, just kept going and going. And he had Caleb Kulikowski all over him. And then he's just stacked up here. It's Parker once again.
And the Foxes weren't letting him get away this time. They were making sure he was being brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Might have actually lost a yard.
It's 4th and 5. The Indians bring on the big package.
Bringing out the kicking unit, actually. I think that's Rosemeyer, 24 now.
It's still got to be Silverman. They must have changed the jersey. I'm not quite sure it was Elaine Tamanoche.
Silverman's on the sideline.
Is he?
Yeah.
Well, then that should be Elaine Tamanoche, number 24, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 24-yard field goal. All right. Who's,
I don't know.
Whose rosters are whose here?
I have no idea.
No, it has to be Charlie Rosemeyer. We're going to switch over to the other one.
Yeah, that must have been a change. He must be 24 now. Here we are. Field goal's good.
Just as long as you have the stats right. We're going back and forth between rosters, I guess. 46 seconds to remain in the third. Penn Hills up 27-0. That's the third field goal of the game.
Yes.
For the Indians. I don't think they've had 3 field goals all season.
That'll be second. They've attempted 3. They missed a 42-yard field goal at the end of the half. No. Yeah, you're right. You're right. We got whistles. I'm confused. Names are changing. Jerseys are changing. I don't know what's going on anymore. We got offsides.
Yeah, there's where the flag is. I assume that would be offsides Indians. It's coming back. They're going to have to kick it again. Well, Silverman will kick off. Nice, high, booming kick. Taken at the 7-yard line. And a nice return by the Foxes across the 40 to the 45-yard line. That's Patterson. On a nifty return.
Beautiful return. Able to make a couple man miss. It was a great kick by Silverman. All the way down to about the 7-yard line, and then all of a sudden make a couple man miss in the open field and get up around the 45-yard line.
Fox is down 27-0 here late in the third. complete on the near side inside the 30-yard line. There's Lorenzo Jenkins.
Pass complete to Jenkins. Same result to Fox Chapel. First down.
27-yard pickup. And that was a
Gonna mark him at the 27.
beautiful pass by Dietz. He just instantly steps back, drops it right in between two defenders, Lorenzo Jenkins,
And he got a nice spot.
yes. Yeah, he did.
Dietz looking again. Still on his feet, and he'll be sacked back close to the 40-yard line.
Pellman picked it up and acted like it was a fumble, but Dietz was down before that ball came loose. But
Yeah, he stopped the clock. 78 on the sack.
Needs run down in the backfield by Luke Goodlees.
Pugliese with another sack.
Assisted by number 43, Keith Alba.
Dietz was trying to keep that play alive. Maybe better up, just trying to get rid of it.
yeah, he did everything he could, and then all of a sudden, late pressure by Cam Hopkins, and then Luke Pugliese and Keith Pellman came in at the last second, cleaned up shop, and that leaves us off to the fourth quarter.
After 3, your score, Penn Hills 27, Fox Chapel nothing. You're watching the Penn Hills Indians Football Network.
Fox Chapel, 0.
That's right, you take
Apparently, Upper St. Clair is trailing 35-28.
So McKeesport was up 27-7 over Laurel Highlands.
Dietz's pass, unable to connect with Patterson.
Incomplete. Intended for Patterson.
Time of the year you start scoreboard watching.
Oh, yeah. You got conference seedings on the race, wild card, everything. You're trying to watch and keep up to date as much as you can, and not also just within the conference, but also within the local area.
Peters Township up 45-7 over Bethel Park.
Big game to watch tomorrow night, actually. Gateway at Woodland Hills. The Wolverina. Dietz lets one rip and misses a wide open man, Jacob DeMott. And Dietz overthrows him.
Fourth down.
ball number 39.
Well, Fox Chapel trying to open it up.
Kind of have to. Down the 4 scores in the fourth.
Dietz pass caught underneath inside to 30. Jenkins inside to 25.
Deep pass complete to Jenkins. Run down.
Mark him at back at the 25.
Roach.
Fox Chapel will keep the offense on the field.
Turnover on
Oh, there
downs.
was 4th down, excuse me.
Yep.
Down.
Forgot about that first play there in the third, the third quarter play there.
The sack on the first down is what brought on the fourth quarter. And I mean, it did look like Jenkins got a little further, got about the 22, but he tried to cut it back to the far side and try to get as much yards as he could. But I think if he keeps running straight up field, he might be able to get close to the first down and make it interesting for maybe a measurement. But nonetheless, the Indians back on the field on the offensive side.
And Key, just like that, up to the 43-yard line. 18 yards. That should put him over 100.
That play results. Penn Hills, first down.
And survey says yes. Puts him at 106. 15 carries. 7.1 yards a carry. Having a wonderful night, the freshman. Filling in the big shoes of Dante Pollard.
Key for 3. Now I think you just see the Penn Hills Indians just trying to run the football as much as possible here.
Yeah, you're just trying to use as much clock as possible and up the 4 scores. Not really trying to do anything too risky and put your players and team at danger of giving a free score to Fox Chapel.
Alan Parker close to the first down. Be about a yard short, 6 yards. And it'll be third down for the Indians. Interesting to see how much play clock they're going to run off here. Don't seem to be in any real hurry.
I'm not going to think they're going to run too much off. They kind of keep the tempo as usual for the offense right now. Still early in the 4th. I mean, they're finally breaking the huddle at 10, so they're taking a little time that way in getting the play in.
Indians just get the play off. Duggar rolls to his right, throws downfield, and pass caught. That'll be a first down for the Indians. Cameron Thomas down to the 25-yard line.
Duggar pass complete. To number 7, Cameron Thomas.
Wow.
That's a catch by Cameron Thomas. At first when I saw Duggar roll out to the far side, I'm like, he's got the edge. Just tuck it and run it. You're getting the first down. But his eyes were downfield the entire time, and he throws it over top of the defender's head, and Thomas goes up and makes a spectacular grab.
Duggar keeps it himself. Inside the 20, cuts it inside the 15. He'll have a first down for the Indians. Down to the 11-yard line.
Roman Mason. And play results. Penn Hills, first down.
Cleo Patterson for Fox Chapel coming up a little giddy up in the. A little hitch in the giddy up there, shaking out the left knee on part of that tackle.
Duggar's going to throw left side into the end zone and incomplete. Nice defensive play by Patterson. It's intended for Topek. Excuse me, it's for Mitchell.
And the ball's actually, it looked like he was trying to fade it a little bit more towards the boundary, but it was actually a little underthrown, which gave Mitchell a chance, but nice job by Patterson to come back and knock it down.
We'll stop the clock with 9:26 to go. Indians up 27-0.
Parker on the carry.
And Parker gets nothing. Fox Chapel defense stands him up. Actually, by maybe a loss of 1.
Delayed handoff to Parker, and Fox Chapel stayed home. Still came upfield and made the tackle for a loss, 1. But this is where you can kind of run those plays. You got the 4-score advantage. Your kicker's got the leg, and Jonah Silverman.
Dogger throwing, end zone, pass too high for Mitchell. That'll bring up a 4th down. Silverman will come on again.
Yeah, and that pass was a bullet. And if he's throwing to Jaden Duggar, he probably completes that. Looking at the size difference between the two. DeAndre Mitchell standing at 5'11", Jaden Duggar 6'4", and that extra reach will make a difference. So a 29-yard field goal attempt for Silverman.
It goes off the crossbar. Score remains Penn Hills 27, Fox Chapel nothing. 8:28 to go here, quarter number 4 on the Penn Hills Indians Football Network. Well, if you like the kicking game, this is the game for you. Between punts and field goals.
To me, that means it's a defensive battle, and I'm enjoying it then.
There we go.
Both defenses. And you got to give Fox Chapel, they've had chances where that defense could break in the red zone, but they've stood tall. We could be talking about we could talk about the mercy rule being in effect at this point. You know, the way Penn Hills has had the ball deep in Fox Chapel territory, but they've been able to hold strong, and I think at this point you're going to start seeing some of the backups into the game for Penn Hills on the defensive side right now. Up 4 scores, a little over 8 minutes to go. Give your seniors What's up?
4 score and 8 minutes to go.
Didn't even think about it that way. See, I didn't even catch it.
I'm sorry.
No, it's good. I didn't even notice I did that. Ugh.
Patterson and the Wildcat for the Foxes. Thomas, left side, picks up about 7.
Thomas on the carry. Tackle by Chase Marty.
Nice to see some students in attendance tonight.
So
Let seniors in.
seniors in, senior parents for band, cheerleader, and football got 4 tickets. Well, that student got 4 tickets, and underclassmen students and the cheerleader, band, or on the football team got 2 tickets for tonight's game.
Thomas again. Maybe a yard.
Thomas on the carry.
Last home game of the season for Penn Hills, barring any playoff action.
Yep. Right now, I believe the higher seed will get the home game in the first round of the WPIL playoffs. Depending on how the rest of the season shakes up and when the brackets are released.
Patterson this way, looks for a blocker in front.
Patterson on the carry.
I'll bring up a 4th and 2. Maybe 4th and 1.
Fourth down.
Give them the third. Nope. Wait. Now they're back to the 29. Nope. It's 4th and 1.
Give him the first down.
It's 4th and 1. They initially spotted at the 30, but then they moved it back to the 29. It should be 4th and 1 at the 29-yard line to get to the 30 for the game.
Oh, now they moved it back. It's 4th and 1.
That's just,
Correction. Fourth down.
It's a game of inches.
I think the only week we've only had 1 week where we haven't had a spotting the ball issue this season so far. It's been clockwork. Confusion and everything else.
Patterson keeps it himself, gets the first down on 4th down. It breaks into the secondary inside the 40, the 30, up the sideline. Patterson being chased from behind and out of bounds. It'll be 1st and goal, Fox Chapel at the 10-yard line.
Was set about by Chase Barney.
Chase Barney chased him down.
Chapel, first down.
Mark him out at the 12-yard line. $59 yards.
Correct.
Oh, yes.
On the spot.
I saw you were trying to see if I figured that one
I
out.
was watching. You were on it. Well, I learned a shorthand. You take the yardage it started from, the yardage it ended, add those two together, and then you subtract from 100. So you get 29 plus 12, and then you minus from 100. There's 59.
I'm counting on my fingers.
Not counting on the hash marks.
Counting at least a little hash mark. First down coming with 6:59 to go here in the 4th quarter. Penn Hills up 27-0 over the Foxes. Foxes will be home next Friday night to take on the North Hills Indians in a game which still could be of importance for the Foxes.
Or for the Indians.
Yeah, absolutely, for both teams.
Winner
There's still a wild card coming.
Yep, winner could potentially get in.
Penn Hills will be at Shaler Friday night to take on the Titans.
Titans struggling this year, so far winless coming tonight's game against Kiski area.
So win tonight. Shore up potential playoff spot for the Penn Hills Indians. Win tonight and then knock off Shaler next week. They will be the runner-up in the conference.
As Shaler is currently trailing Kiski 42-0 as that game heads to the final quarter.
Colin Dietz back in a quarterback for the Foxes. Dietz throws, right side has a man in the end zone. And they're going to call pass interference on Pellman. Pass was intended for Colin Kwiatkowski.
Pass incomplete. Flag on the play.
Threw a jump ball. And it, to me, looked like defender got there early. That's such bang bang, but he's up in the air. It's
so now it's 1st and goal from the 6. Dietz will throw that one away.
Pass incomplete.
No, they were having success with that Wildcat.
Yeah.
Now they've gone away from it.
Yeah, I don't understand why they went away from it. I know you're in the red zone and everything, and you want to get your quarterback going, but keep going with it. It was picking up up yards, and until they, at least run it on 1st down and see what happens. And then now we're gonna get a penalty. I think we're gonna get a call against Penn Hills bench. Actually, got an ejection.
Who got ejected?
I don't know if it was a parent or who it was, but
Oh, I know who it is, but we won't say.
he has been ejected. And then that'll also move half the distance to the goal, so that'll move it to ball to the 3-yard line. 2nd and goal.
Now they're back in that Wildcat. Patterson will toss left side. Thomas will get into the end zone for the Fox Chapel touchdown.
Fox Chapel.
Well, we mentioned it, that's what was working for the offense for Fox Chapel, and pulled out on 2nd and short, and touchdown scored.
Touchdown coming with 6:53 to go. Now 27-6. Fox Chapel will go for one. Well, it's still a 4-score game, whether they go for one or two. And the kick is up and good. 6:53 to go, fourth quarter. Penn Hills 27, Fox Chapel 7 here on the Penn Hills Indians Football Network. From Uhas McGinley Stadium and Penn Hills, Bill Navari along with R.J. Licey as the Indians have a 27-7 lead over the Fox Chapel Foxes. And again, the success of that Wildcat for Fox Chapel gets them into the end zone. Not even your Fox Chapel. You got to try the onside here.
I would.
What do you got to lose?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, if you do get it and then get a quick score, suddenly it's
2-possession game. Anything can happen. I don't know what we're waiting on here, folks.
TV timeout, I believe.
We're in a timeout right now?
Yeah. Telling you, it's appreciate every one of you tuning in tonight here on the Penn Hills Football Network and the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Don't forget all the scores and highlights of tonight's WPIAL action coming your way after tonight's game with Dawn Rebel and the Trib Live High School Sports Network crew.
Yep, scoreboard show. I'll be dialing in, giving you a recap of tonight's game for all those who were not able to follow or following other games in the area.
Squib kick falling on at the 40-yard line. Here's Cam Hopkins.
Cameron Hopkins secures the Tarasi kickoff. Penn Hills begins their drive on their 40-yard line.
Well, again, we do appreciate everybody taking the time to tune in tonight. A lot of folks tuning in from around, not only around the area and around the country, but from around the world.
Yes.
So, Alan Parker
on the carry.
picks up about 9. Now the subs are getting in. Robert Thomas, quarterback for the Indians.
Flag on the field.
Indians get some movement.
Penn Hills.
6:21.
You're getting to be a pain in the ass.
So instead of 2nd and 1, it'll be 2nd and about 6. And 3 flags come in on that one. Parker on the carry, 4, 5, more flags come in.
Oh, we got flags everywhere. Well, that's a laundry field out there, and I think we're going to get a face mask on the run. And then on the other side, we had will look to be Dorian Gomez shoving a wide receiver to the ground. Kind of buried him at the end. Right there, boom. Left side of the screen we saw on the replay. And right on the 50-yard line. That was easy to see. So we're going to get double penalties here, folks. It's going to be a fun one.
You get your flag back, or you just get an 8 flag?
Personal foul. Fox Chapel.
Now they're going to attack both of them. It's not like you can say, well, they had 2 penalties, you take one of them.
Correct.
The personal foul on the wide receiver was a dead ball.
Yes.
So that's 2 15-yard penalties. Now, if you divide by 2 and add to 100, that's 30 yards in penalties.
I don't think we need to do that one.
Now Penn Hills ball down at the 27-yard line.
Oof.
Thomas keeps it himself. We'll have a first down at the 15-yard line.
On the keeper. That play results in Penn Hills. First down.
Clock under 6 minutes, excuse me.
Not too often you see a quarterback running the 32 number. Robert Thomas, but beautiful run there on the keep. Actually faked it off to Parker, and the defense bit hard. Easy running lane for 12.
Amir Rollins, the freshman, to Thomas's right. Parker deep in the pistol. And it'll be Parker straight up the middle. Inside the 10. Wrapped up and brought down at the 7-yard line.
Carry. Tackle by Jack Visco.
There's Jason Williams Anderson draped all over him.
Him and Jack Visco on, wrapped around the ankles of Parker.
How big would it be for these young kids here right now to put the ball in the end zone? That'd be really exciting. Parker on a little bit, it looked like a mix-up between him and Thomas. We'll lose 3 back to the 10.
Parker on the carry. Third down.
It almost looked like Parker was anticipating a pitch to the right, and Thomas thought it was a handoff to the left, and 3-yard loss. And they're just, you're out there to prove what you got. What can we provide to the team? How can we help the team continue on in the season and win games further down the line? And especially Alan Parker now getting immersed into the running back depth even before the other substitutions came in late in this game.
Thomas keeps it himself. Fox Snapple does a nice job to hold him to no gain. It's 4th down. Will the Indians bring on the field goal unit again?
Yep. And here it comes.
And Charlie Rosemeyer will try a 27-yarder. I think that's what, the 3rd missed field goal tonight? But hey, they're trying them.
Yeah. Giving them a go.
Well, credit Fox Chapel defense. Penn Hills Indians got deep, but unable to get into the end zone.
They've done that multiple times tonight, and like I mentioned earlier, we could be talking about a mercy rule effect already, but Fox Chapel's been able to hold somewhat suit. The offense just hasn't been able to respond for Fox Chapel the way the defense has responded. And it's been quite the opposite for Penn Hills, and also capitalizing on a couple turnovers for the Foxes.
Like Penn Hills called a timeout. Kiski up 49-8 over Shaler.
McKeesport up 35-20 over Laurel Highlands.
There's some finals. Char Valley 54, Beaver 7. Elizabeth Forward 16, Mount Pleasant 14. Ligonier Valley 42, Waynesburg 7. McGuffey 56, Char Houston nothing. TJ 41, Ringgold nothing. West Green 53, Brownsville 12. Now Fox Chapel getting new jerseys in. It's Roman Mason. Pick up 7. Under 3 minutes and running here in quarter number 4. USC up 42-35 on Moon. Mason again with a first down for Fox Chapel. Upper St. Clair scored 21 points in 5 minutes to take the lead.
Whew.
Any update on the Penn Trafford score?
I haven't seen anything yet. Let me see if I can find anything.
Mason again gets a little push from his quarterback. But ahead for 5.
I got a score update for you. Penn Trafford 50, Connellsville 28.
That was good while it lasted.
Yep. Made a good charge there at the end.
Mason dragged down from behind by Bakari Hopkins for no gain.
Tackle by number 29, Bakari Hopkins.
Fox Chapel, no hurry as the clock starts to wind down. 1:15 and running. And Liam Kerr sacked. We'll lose 4 and bring up a 4th down.
He was ready to let that one rip, and then all of a sudden he was plastered to the turf.
Did a nice job of holding on to it.
Oh, yeah. Normal people, that ball is going to flip out of the throwing hand and be a live ball, but Kerr was able to keep a grasp on it.
Kelsey Hundley, I believe. Mason with the first down for the Foxes in Penn Hills territory at the 46-yard line.
Play results in Fox Chapel, first down.
That's 21 yards for Mason. And the first down, the clock will stop with 17 seconds to go.
Mason's numbers called once again, runs off the right side, and that'll run it out.
And the clock winds down. Your final score: Penn Hills 27, Fox Chapel 7. Penn Hills now in the driver's seat for that second playoff spot in the Northeast Conference.
Yeah, beautiful executed game for the Indians. Came out first play from scrimmage, and from there it's just been all Penn Hills, just on kind of not cruise control, because then both teams kind of like woke up and played really good defense. Neither offense could get going until late in the first and into the second quarter, and from there it was Penn Hills just cruising along.
The winning score was what, 96 seconds into this game?
Yeah, a field
or
goal.
Not even. It was at that point. It was 10-0.
Yeah. A minute 24.
Yeah.
10:24. So a minute 36 into the game.
I mean, 84 seconds. It was even shorter. 84 seconds. We had the winning score. Then it became a defensive struggle the entire game. A couple of turnovers by Fox Chapel helped the Indians get on the board. And it was pretty much all Penn Hills tonight. So Penn Hills will move on to take on Shaler next Friday night to be able to clinch the runner-up position in the conference. And then Fox Chapel will take on North Hills in a game that's still with huge playoff implications.
Big playoff implications. You're talking potential. At that point, you're talking a wild card spot that could sneak into the playoffs. And once you get into playoffs, you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know who you're going to face and what could happen at that point.
We're taking two wild cards, I believe, in 5A. So you're going to take two good third place teams.
Yeah, and you're dealing with teams such as Upper St. Clair in that part. You're dealing with Woodland Hills, Gateway. Latrobe has come on of late in the Big East Conference, and you add in Fox Chapel and North Hills. You got 5 teams that are going to be fighting for 2 spots next week.
What's going on out there with Moon?
Yep, Moon's in there.
The conference on Peters Township, I think it's in the driver's seat. He's going to take the conference out there.
And Peters Township beat Bethel Park tonight, so they're now 5-0, 4-0 in conference. So they clinched the Allegheny 6. So 2 of the conferences have been sealed up tonight in the 5A. The Big East Conference is the mystery one because they've had so many postponements, with Gateway having to postpone 2 games due to COVID and everything like that. But it's going to be very, very interesting to see how the rest of the season shapes up. Next week is going to be a fun one, not only to watch for us in the game, but we're going to be scoreboard watching. We're going to be watching. We're going to watch everything we can.
As you mentioned, Peters Township winning the conference tonight. The other one you mentioned was 2 tonight. Pine Richland with the Penn Hills win tonight clinches the Northeast Conference. They're Northeast Conference champs. So it's. Who's driving? Who's going to be driver's seat in the other ones? Penn Trafford, I guess. And then you have to look and see Gateway.
Yep.
Are they going to be able to? Have they played any games? They played 2 games.
They've played 2 games. They were playing. They don't play. They play tomorrow against Woodland Hills, and I don't know what you do. They haven't played Penn Trafford. They were supposed to play Penn Trafford.
That game's been canceled.
Week. Yeah. So
they're not even going to make that one up.
No, I don't know how. And then I think they're going to. What do you do? Do you go by win percentage? I don't know how you're going to get a team in with. 4 games.
You go Gardner points, WPIL points. Even still, it's. What happens if you have a team that goes 3-3?
Yeah. You got a team that goes 3-3, and you got a Gateway that's going to play a total of 4 games before playoffs are decided.
God willing.
Yeah.
It's. The luck they've had this season. But, there's definitely some, the quality teams and just go on, but. The playoffs? Well, it's 2 weeks away. Yeah, already.
Yeah, we can't be like playoffs. We can't be like No, this is playoff time.
Yeah,
this is it.
We're crunch time here.
We're 11 days away from the brackets being released by the WPIL. So they've made it this far. Knock on wood. They've gotten through it. But a great win tonight for Penn Hills. Puts the Indians in the driver's seat for the second spot. Next week, going against Shaler. I mean, you can't sleep on Shaler. I know they're a winless team in the section, but you got to go play football and lock up that second spot and don't leave it up to a potential wild card position.
It'll be at Shaler. Big question for Penn Hills coming in tonight was the loss of Dante Pollard. How is the Penn Hills running game going to stack up with that? Derek Topek said that it should be okay.
Yeah, Derek Topek, and then you come in with Amir Key. Comes in, 16 rushes, 109 yards, 1 touchdown.
That was for Topek.
No, that's for
Key.
That's for Key.
Key got 100 too.
Yeah.
What did Topek got over 100 yards?
No, Topek. I don't think he had over 100 yards. Topek only had 3 carries for 11 yards.
Seems like he had a lot more than that.
It does. It honestly does. But the freshman came up, and then you had Julian Duggar, and then Alan Parker had some good runs there as well, and it was a full team effort, and they got it done, and you had guys step up that needed to step up.
Well, the running game seems to be clicking for Penn Hills, and if they get that passing game going, things will be very well because the defense is playing as well as anybody. People sit back and look at the blowout by Pine Richland, but Pine Richland had 4 touchdown drives of 25 yards or less in that game. 2 plays or less in that game. So, it was all pretty even except for the Penn Hills mistakes, but credit Pine Richland for taking advantage of those errors.
And that's what a defending champion does.
Yes,
they take advantage of those mistakes, and that's what Penn Hills did tonight. You had a couple mistakes by Fox Chapel. You capitalized. You got points off them. You go on to win the game.
Absolutely. Well, Penn Hills, they get the win tonight. Final score, 27-7 over Fox Chapel. See you next week
in
Shaler. For our producer and camera person, Helen, thank you very much. For my broadcast partner, R.J. Lacey, I am Bill Navari. We'll see you next week here on the Penn Hills Indians and Trib Live High School Sports Networks.